so today I'm going to read you the open chapter of Shine by Gourley. It's about a girl on a fictional island who suffers with mutism. I found it a bit strange, but it's quite gripping. I read it in one sitting, so try it out. Chapter 1. Are you listening, Rosa? I stared at Yaya. Her eyebrows were knitted on a yellow forehead, and her face was suddenly smaller. Her eyes hard and burning like black coals. Listen, this is important. The seriousness of her voice and the smallness of her face made me feel suddenly scared. I climbed up onto her lap. Imagine what it would be like if the rain stopped, she said in a hushed voice. No more hammering on the rooftops, no more drip, 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 no more splish, splash. I'm taking a bath. Can you imagine it? I tried to imagine it, really I did, screwing my eyes shut so that I couldn't see the rain steadily drawing stripes on the window pane. But I couldn't. How could I, when here on Mirasol it rained all the time? All the time. Buckets. Sure, sometimes it was just a wetness in the air that left your hair damp. But often it was a torrent, and when the sea turned into a beast with waves for claws. Don't you ever wonder, Rosa, Yaya whispered, have you ever wondered what it would be like if the rain suddenly stopped? Think, Rosa, think. All the wet sounds suddenly silent just like that, like God pressed the wrong button on his remote control. Off. The quiet would be instant, wouldn't it? Big, heavy, like a giant's blanket. That was what it was like that day, Rosa. One moment the weather hissing in your ear, the next, boom, nothing. People froze, their heads tilted to one side, their ears cupped, waiting for the pitter-patter to start again, but it didn't. They rushed out of their houses, staring up at the heavens, and then they were all talking at the same time, pointing, look at the sky, and oh, the clouds. They were peeling away like old dry scabs. And before you knew it, there was just a big blue sheet high above their heads, so blue that everyone found themselves rubbing their eyes. It burned. Who would have thought a colour could do that? And then the sun came out, a blazing white coin, and there was a smell. Everyone pointed their noses at the sun like this. What was that strange odour? It was a smell of fire. Oh yes. On their faces, on their bare arms and legs, they felt a strange sensation, like the jabs of 1,000 tiny beaks. There was a prickling on their scalp, and from the top of their heads popped beads of scratchy sweat. The children were the first to move. No rain to keep them indoors. No need to wear itchy plastic things over their clothes. No rain to crumble their sandcastles. They raced into the streets and down the sandy pathways to the beach, whooping and shouting, ignoring the grown-up cries of, where do you think you're going? Be careful. Don't go into the sea. It's dangerous. The children's joy was like an infection, a happiness virus. And then it was the grown-ups' turn to smile. Everyone startled to hear laughter exploding in their throats. Ha ha, everyone was so happy. And they all held their hands up at the sun, as if the heat was something you could trap and keep forever. Meanwhile, come closer, Rosa, this is the scary part. Here, put your arms round my neck. Meanwhile, out in the middle of the ocean, a fisherman and his boy sat in a boat, jaws gaping at the flickering sea. First the waves were grey, boring, like porridge with no milk or sugar. Then, abracadabra, they were blue, a blue that kept changing. Dark blue, light blue, cobalt blue, duck egg blue, midnight blue, blue blue. Wow, wow, wow. And then they saw something bobbing on the ocean. What was it? Driftwood, rubbish, seaweed? It was a girl. Without stopping to think, the boy leapt into the water. It was hard to swim because blue waves are bigger and stronger than grey waves, but he managed to grab her with one arm and swim back. Then, with the help of his old daddy, he dragged her onto the boat. But too late. She was like a wet rag doll, tangled in their nets, green things in her long black hair, and no breath on her purple lips. On her throat there were terrible marks, as if a noose of rope had been tied tight around it. Burning, angry, puckered. They decided to take the body to the police. But first the fisherman said we must bring her to the priest for a blessing. If we cannot save her body, at least let us save her soul. At the church, the fisherman went to fetch the priest, leaving his son in the back of their old pickup truck with the body. The boy stared sadly at the dead girl, at the lashes long and wet on the pale cheeks. Then her eyelids fluttered. She was alive. The boy leapt to his feet, poised to shout for his daddy. But when the eyes opened, his voice withered in his throat. The eyes were so empty and hopeless, the boy shivered, as if he'd fallen into a cold hole. And then the pretty lips parted and the girl began to take long, thirsty gulps of air. As she drank from the atmosphere, the boy felt his own throat becoming tighter. The tubes that fed his lungs began to narrow, and soon he began to gulp. but unlike the girl, whose lips and skin became rosier as she breathed, he opened and closed his mouth, swallowing to no avail. Slowly his lungs shriveled into stones. The girl watched, her face expressionless as he fell to his knees, suffocating. Then she whirled and leapt from the truck. When the fisherman and the priest emerged from the church, the rain had begun to fall. The boy lay dead in the back of the truck, and the girl was gone. Yaya held me close. Everyone said the girl was a monster that came down from the heavens to make trouble. I squirmed on Yaya's lap, incredulous. Was it true? It's absolutely true, Yaya said. Then why here on Mirasol? Are we always afraid? We're always looking over our shoulders for monsters that might steal the life from us. This is our lot, rain, every day, and fear. Yaya pressed her cheek against mine. It's important you know this story, Rosa, no matter what your daddy says. This is why you must hide away and keep anyone from seeing these. And her fingers traced the marks that circled my neck, burning, angry, puckered. So if you like the sound of that, read it and see what you make of it.